Welcome to Banana Bread Trades. Here we talk about trading futures. Shit post on Discord, post dank memes, and most importantly, eat banana bread and make money.
Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. My name is Goose and welcome back to another recap and market outlook. Today is Wednesday the 15th. It is CPI day that is just finished. We have finished our trading day and now we're about to review our day, go over the trades that we took today, as well as make our plan going into tomorrow. So today, CPI day. Yesterday, we had made our plan for CPI, and what we talked about was very importantly the CPI numbers that were going to completely determine what we did today. And we talked about if CPI came in at expectations or beat expectations in the form of, inflation coming down, we were going to get long absolutely no matter what. And the reason being is the inflation numbers the last 3 months have came in relatively hot. And the big concern was that they were going to raise rates to, bring inflation back under control. Now, Jerome Powell and the Fed have been adamant, and they have restated this time and time again, which actually started this rally from the last FOMC, that they were not going to raise rates if inflation numbers kept coming in poorly, unless they came in to where like it was a catastrophic economy collapsing number. Otherwise, they were just going to leave rates the same and monitor things as they were, but they were comfortable where rates were at. They're not going to raise rates, but we'll either just leave them there longer or cut rates. Those are the only two options that they really could see going forward. So that gave us a lot of bullish sentiment. Now, what we needed further was to see inflation actually under control. And if inflation shows that it's under control, well, that's really, really positive for everyone involved because, for one, inflation's under control. And then two, there's a greater chance that we will see rate cuts later this year. Now, they have pushed back the outlook from June to most likely September, November area, just because, the last 3 months haven't been great data points. But with the data release we got today, everything came in at expectations and beat expectations. All the numbers were really good across the board. And like we talked about yesterday, if that is the case, we were getting long absolutely no matter what, and we were targeting all-time highs. And that's what we did. As soon as I saw the release and saw the numbers on the release, I got long on a few MNQ. And let's hop over to the NQ chart here, because I got long a few MNQ just to have a position on the board in case it just was going to relentlessly run because the numbers were really good. And I got in a very light position. I can handle quite a bit of drawdown on my larger accounts. So a few MNQ and, a pretty wild move, I'm going to be okay. And I wouldn't recommend this for everyone. If your account cannot allow for a few hundred points of drawdown, definitely don't expose yourself to that risk. However, I could. Well, I got long and then market just kept ripping and I was pretty confident that it would. It ripped, about 50 points past where I had entered. I entered, like I said, a little bit late on the green candle, but I was very, very confident and I just wanted to have a position on in case it kept running, with the idea that if it went against me a ways, I had room to add unless things really started getting violent. Then I would kill it, but it would still be within my risk tolerance of what a regular stop would be. And I'll show all of my trades here in just a second. But we're going to look at this chart for now because this has all of our targets and everything. So I got long right off the bat. Market ripped a little bit, but then it kind of pulled back and consolidated a bit, pretty close to where my entry was. And then market opens at, 8:30 Central Standard Time. It tries to pump, fails, and ends up pulling back. And it goes against me, quite a bit, about 50 points or so of drawdown that I ended up taking on those few MNQ. When this happened, I didn't fret because, like I said, I wanted to be long no matter what. And where I made the mistake is I did not get long and add to my position at half gap, which is a major support point for any sort of options play. And I was watching half gap on QQQ. That's where I watch half gap, because I think that half gap, which is the midpoint between yesterday's close and today's open, that one is the one that matters the most to me versus the futures half gap. I don't think the futures half gap has as much value as the options half gap, and both of these track each other because they both track the NDX. So I was long on NQ, and because I was long really light on MNQ, that allowed me to be patient and wait for a really good entry on ES, because that's where our main size was going to be applied at. Excuse me. We were looking for a really good opportunity to long on ES, and I didn't know where that long was going to come in at. Excuse me, sorry. Like I said, I just wanted to be long, but with, you know, the volatility and everything that happened, I just wanted to be able to find a good low risk entry. And I actually thought I was going to miss it entirely because, like I said, when market opened, it ended up ripping and I wasn't in. I was only in on my MNQ, which was okay. I was planning on holding this for quite a few points. So I was going to have a good day no matter what, but I wasn't going to have the size on with the ES play that we were really searching for. So it pulls back, and then it ends up actually being okay because that pullback allowed us, so hold on, let me switch to my 15-minute chart. So this pullback here actually gave us the perfect long entry on ES. And let's flip over to this chart as well. It gave us this perfect entry on ES here at 52.86-ish, which was a little bit above halfway point, but there you could see some clear buying coming in on time and sales and major absorption. They were holding the level, they were reclaiming the level. And I was like, all right, this is definitely our spot to throw in some size and get long on ES, which we did. And our targets were CPI high. That was our initial target. And then our secondary target was this white zone of 53.20 to 53.33, which was all-time high. So we used that MNQ position more or less as a starter position because we knew that it was going to be a major bullish day. And then because we had that starter position in with MNQ, it allowed us to be patient and wait for a more ideal entry on ES. And after this, on NQ, once we got the high of day on ES, I was pretty comfortable with starting to scale out of my NQ play. And I kind of got rid of most of it. I got rid of my core on ES at the CPI release high, and then I held a runner all the way up to our white zone. I ended up actually taking profit about 2 or 3 points early, and that's just because we were having some major resistance right here. It did not look like it was going to power through. It's a CPI day. We have 30 points on the table with our runner. It's a fantastic day. We got to our zone. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. So I took profit a little early and it kept on running. But I didn't take any more trades on ES after we had gotten to my white zone because that was our main target. However, things were still bullish. And because things were still bullish and we had this breakout, this was a very, very clear breakout of this massive resistance area right here. I decided to get long pretty light and just play this breakout. If it breaks out and runs, I had a pretty good feeling that we were going to make at least an attempt at all-time highs, which we still had quite a ways to go. And I was going to target this unfilled POC, which was at, let me zoom out here and get you the actual one. The actual unfilled POC was at about 18.6, says 18.650. It was actually at 18.677. I'm not sure why it's not loading correctly, but that's where that unfilled POC was. And that's where my target was after we got that breakout. Like I said, I was extremely light leverage here at 18.9 or 18.595. This is about where I got long. I was extremely light leverage here. And then as it went up and as it broke out, I went ahead and added to that long along the way, just taking some scalps and kind of made up for taking profit a little early. But like I said, we got our target, so I wasn't too incredibly concerned. And this overall made for an absolutely fantastic day. We had a great day. We caught our long. The bias was incredibly strong with that data release. And we got to our target. And then once target hit, we went flat and we waited to see if buyers actually wanted to go ahead and break out and run to those all-time highs, which they did. And then we chased that long a little bit. And let's look at those trades now. Here you can see ES. We waited. We finally got a pullback. There was clear buying at that spot. We reclaimed. Then I got long. I took profit at the CPI high, took our core off there. And then I held our runner all the way up to about 53.17, 53.18-ish area. And like I said, there was some really big resistance showing up right here. It looked very weak. I was afraid it was going to pull back and probably range the rest of the day. And that's where I killed it. I was okay. I wasn't going to be a dick for like 3 points. We were good. That was our ES play. That was the play we were waiting for and that we planned all yesterday. And let's go ahead here. And here was my NQ play. Like I said, this was really light. We were just in on a few MNQ. We got long as soon as we saw the data. It was really good. I actually added a little bit here at this consolidation thinking, okay, it might rip. And this is what allowed me to be patient on my ES play, because I knew that even if it ripped without me right here, which I really thought it was going to do, that I at least had a position on and would get something out of today, because I was uber bullish. I was wanting to be long. I just didn't know where I could long with size on ES. So we had this long, and like I said, we started taking profit about the same spot as our target zone on ES, and then we were good and we were flat. We waited for a good half hour to an hour, and then here I switched over to my other account, and we waited for this breakout to happen. Now, like I said, I thought we were kind of going to rotate here, so I was being very patient. And as soon as we started breaking out, I got long. I actually got long a little bit heavier than I wanted to. I killed one right off the bat and then held the rest of my leverage. And then after it was kind of a confirmed breakout, then I added to that long and just scaled out along the way as we got closer and closer to that unfilled POC. We got a great exhaustion candle right here. I got out. And it ended up actually holding and buying up a little bit more. And because Hector was short, I ended up taking one more long right here just to prove a point. And that was pretty much my day. I mean, I was really bullish. I mean, I know I say prove a point here. I'm mostly just kidding. This was our first pullback basically of the whole day. There was just very clear buying, and we were so close to all-time highs on both ES and NQ that I was pretty confident that we were going to make that push up and at least make an attempt at all-time high, which we did. I'm thankful for. I was very light leverage on that last long, but it was just a very, very clear looking setup in my opinion as far as PA goes. So those were all of our trades for today. It turned out being very good and very easy day because we had such a strong bias. It was the correct bias, and we had no problem just getting long in the trend and holding, because we knew where our target was going to be. So that's our day. And now let's go ahead and kind of make a plan for what's going to come next. Because now the hard trading begins, because we're at all-time highs. And I know a lot of people's first reaction is when things are really high, oh, I should just short because we're up really high. That is not the case here, at least for me. If we're at all-time highs, it's for a reason. And it's because things are really bullish. And people may think, oh man, this has been such an insane rally, it has to pull back. No, it doesn't. I encourage you to go look at the weekly chart. Let's go here and look at the 1 week chart. And when you zoom out really, really far, history will tell you it really can go pretty far before it makes a meaningful pullback. And in all reality, this rally could just be getting started. So I am not really chasing shorts up here. My whole theory that I use with all-time highs is I will be late at least a day to any short. That has always been my philosophy with trading at all-time highs, is let the market confirm that it's actually bearish and that there's real selling and they're going to continue that selling. before I start actually chasing shorts. And the reason being is, yes, there is opportunity if you catch that high. But what is the extent of that opportunity? As you guys have seen, we like holding trades all day. We like holding trades for long targets and having a very long view bias. So if we're just going to sell for half a day or one day, then man, I don't really necessarily want to take that, because in the grand scheme of things, I'm going against the trend, and I would rather be patient and catch a longer trade with the macro trend. And at this moment, the macro trend is up. So we're still looking for longs. And in my opinion, I'm looking for longs as long as we stay above this POC right here at 18,306 on NQ. And let's flip over to ES here. And now this POC here at 52.47. As long as we can stay above that, I'm still on the bull train. Yes, we could pull back all the way down to here. And in that case, that's totally fine, because that just gears us up for another long if we wick this zone and it reclaims. If we wick that zone and it does not reclaim and does not show clear buying, then I will start to consider shorts all the way down to 51.50. But until then, I'm still looking at longs. We have plenty of structure down here that probably needs repaired, so we could have some pullbacks, and that is totally okay. That just gears us up to give us another long opportunity. And under that level, like I said, if it fails, then we'll start considering shorts, or if we're in a bear market or not. But that's going to take a lot of analysis, because a true rotation into a bear market is a very, very significant event. So, like I said, I will be late to any short. I will let us flush all the way down to that level and force us not to reclaim before I actually start considering getting on the short side. And that's the same thing we did for this sell. We waited for us to sell right here and actually break down. We broke down. And then once we broke down and showed that, hey, we want to continue selling as we did here, then all of a sudden, okay, it's bear market. We can hop on the short side. But I let these two moves happen before I even started considering shorts. And that's just because I need the market to prove to me that we're legitimately changing trend, which it did. So that's my plan for right now, is we're still chasing longs. Now, where are we taking these longs? Especially here on ES. Well, when we're at all-time highs, we don't have our typical levels to get long. We don't have a lot of structure and a lot of volume, and we're just kind of chugging along. So there's a few ways you have to look at it. One, you can just chill out. Go find a different ticker. Go trade oil or gold or, lean hogs. Go trade something that has some good structure and good plays. If you do want to play this, okay, well, we're going to have to play probably a little lighter leverage because it's not as clear. And then we're going to have to start playing our statistical averages or our typical, TA plays such as opening range and initial balance. We're going to have to start watching those a little more clearly than just our levels, just for the simple fact that we don't have levels. And another great thing to pay attention to is these unfilled POCs. So from today, we have a POC that has been unfilled at 53.27, which is also right in the middle conveniently of our target zone. So for me, getting long would indicate, or would kind of require us wicking that POC, filling it, and then reclaiming it, holding, buyers holding above that POC. Then at that point, okay, I will consider a long. But until then, like I said, we're just playing our opening range plays and, an initial balance continuation type plays. But with a little bit smaller size, just because when you're at all-time highs, things can get pretty either slow or instant sell-offy, because when people start a profit-taking event, as we saw over here, these profit-taking events happen basically out of nowhere. You'll be buying up, get a really good push, all of a sudden, okay, we're at all-time highs. We don't want to buy anymore. We want to take profit, and it causes these huge sells, but we just keep buying those sells up until we don't. So that's another reason you really want to be cautious at all-time highs. And you want to buy the dip, but only when that dip is really, really clear, or you have, a solid reason like opening range, initial balance, or you're reclaiming an old untested POC, singles, all of that stuff. So that's really what we'll be looking for. We don't have any real confident plans going into tomorrow, other than I don't think we have a huge, massive sell-off. I think we either consolidate, or maybe we sell off to this level, reclaim, buy up, or range some more. This was an absolutely huge move today, and there's just no reason to get all bent out of shape, or even, get ourselves in a whole bunch of drawdown when we have no structure to go off of. And I mean, like I said, this was a pretty gnarly move. So what happens tomorrow is kind of more or less up to the market makers, and we just need to be along for the ride or watching on the sidelines. Like I said, other tickers like gold, lean hogs, oil, all of those will be great tickers to play if you're feeling uncertain about ES or NQ, or even natural gas. Natural gas is a very fun one to play as well. That one is really respectful to traditional TA. So, like I said, if you're not sure or you don't have a confident, statistical play to go off while we're chugging along these all-time highs, I would really encourage you to go play those other tickers. And if not, like I said, make sure you kind of have an idea of why you're taking a long or why you're taking a short. But for me, I won't be looking for shorts. Like I said, we're at all-time highs. We're at all-time highs for a reason. And to the short side, in my opinion, and the way I like to trade, it just doesn't have enough value to me until the market is confirmed that we are bearish. So that's my piece for today. Like I said, we're just kind of watching these levels as we chug along all-time highs. The plan is basically complete. I mean, it's all but it is complete. Like, let's be real. The plan is complete. And now as we chug along all-time highs, build some structure, and then maybe we'll have a more concise idea of where we want to trade, or, even short or long, doesn't matter. But once we kind of build a little bit more structure up here, maybe we'll have a more clear idea tomorrow afternoon. But for now, just our typical plays. So thank you guys all very much. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, hit me up on Discord, Twitter, whatever you want. My charts, as always, will be linked down below in the description. And yeah, stay safe, guys, tomorrow. Don't liquidate yourself trying to catch some sort of crazy move. Just stay safe, stick to your guns, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
This is how I make the best banana bread so you can make money. Half cup premium butter, 3 bananas, 2 eggs, your perfect chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons vanilla extracts, 2 cups flour, 1 cup sugar, consult for brown sugar to change it up, 1 teaspoon baking soda, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon cinnamon, bake for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. After you pull it out of the oven, immediately cover it in tin foil and leave set at room temperature overnight. The tin foil locks in the moisture so that when you cut into it, the next day you have super moist and delicious bread. And that's how you make the world's best banana bread. Eat banana bread, make